hear the word family one more time, I can only take so much of this.
If they ride with me, ain't my brother. Say they riding with me, but I know that they ain't loyal. Say they ain't your team, but they ain't really rooting for you. Keep it on me when I'm riding. It's the game, get me sliding, then I'm sliding. Come on, let's take a ride. Let's ride.
Hello, my fellow YouTubers and subscribers, and welcome to my latest movie review. I'm not really sure if this is a review or a rant. Depends on how the rest of this recording goes. Today, I review Fast and Furious 10, or Fast X, whatever you want to call it. So, Fast and Furious 10. Oh, gosh. I mean, it's never clear which is the final movie now, because they've just carried on making them. Let's be honest. There's no real end point with this series, only when the money runs out. To give you a little bit of insights, I haven't really seen many of the Fast and Furious movies. I've seen a couple of them before this. I saw the fifth one, Fast 5, and I saw the Hobbs and Shaw movie, although I haven't reviewed them on the channel. You know, I think, to be honest, if you see one Fast and Furious movie, you've kind of seen them all, really. So I haven't felt compelled to watch the series. It's never been a series that really has intrigued me, to be honest. I've never really gotten into it, which is ironic, because I do quite like action movies. Anyway, the plot of Fast and Furious 10 is as follows. Dom Toretto and his family are targeted by the vengeful son of drug kingpin Hernan Reyes. Yeah, so basically the plot is, as said before, it's Vin Diesel and Jason Momoa battling it out to protect family. I don't know why I saw this movie. I think I was just looking for something to watch. There was really nothing else to see, which interested me, and I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy already, so there was nothing else to go and see. I don't have much to say about this movie. It was just so boring. For a movie that's all action, there was just nothing here. I just didn't care for this movie one bit. I did not care for it. I couldn't get emotionally invested in the characters, despite the amount of times that they keep banging on about family. I will admit, I did enjoy some of the action, even though it's ridiculous and over the top. But I guess that's sort of the appeal for these movies, is that people go and see them because the action is so high octane and so incredibly unrealistic. And of course, you've got the hot girls and the fast cars as well to add to that. It just seems to me that Fast and Furious has really overstayed its welcome. I mean, I haven't seen half the franchise, but even I have to admit, this movie just looks like a tired old formula that's been shoved out in the cinemas. You know, I will always defend a movie for having pathos and drama and heart. And I do appreciate the fact that this movie tries to have heart. But the fact is, you've got to use those moments sparingly. You've got to find a way to make those moments work, to make you buy into the characters. You've got to make the characters go on a journey. It's okay to say, I'm doing this to protect my family, I'm doing this to save my son, or whatever. If there's no relationship, there's no journey for the characters, then what's the point? Vin Diesel's character is a father trying to protect his son. He has a pretty good relationship with his son, and that doesn't change. There's no conflict. There's no drama. So what do you want me to say? I just found the father-son relationship so unengaging, and I didn't really buy in the emotion, the fact that he was so determined to protect his son. It was just boring. It was just so boring. Like I said, there's got to be moments in the film where, those brief moments where you feel the emotion. This movie tries every 5 minutes to have that sentimental beat and tries to hit that beat over the friggin' head, but it hammers its point too much. It's like they don't want you to think about anything else. They're trying too hard to make you think that this is a movie about family, which is true, but again, I don't need it to be shoved down my throat. Far too on the nose, and it's far too blatant. You know, I would rather the movie take its time to develop and evolve. If you want this to be a character drama, fine, but you haven't approached it in the right way, because the action is at the forefront and character is at the back, which it should be the other way around. So yeah, I don't appreciate the fact that they keep bashing on about family, but I also think that the amount of action in this film is gratuitous. It's clearly dumped on screen and is shoved out there just for the sake of spectacle. And again, there's nothing wrong with having an action film that's a bit more high octane. That's fine. I would not mind that, but there's so much action, and the fact the movie goes on for nearly 2.5 hours, so with very little plot. So you can imagine the action fatigue starts to set in pretty quickly. I found a lot of these sequences very repetitive and very tiring. I mean, there's one pretty fun action scene with a massive bomb in Rome. I did quite enjoy that. That was a nice little heist moment. I thought that was pretty entertaining. But the rest of it was all the same. I couldn't distinguish one sequence from the other. Like I said, needlessly slapped together just for the sake of shoving it out in the cinemas for the fans. Clearly the fans go to these movies for that. They go to the movies for the spectacle, the high-octane action. Maybe some go for the characters, but I don't care about any of the characters. And narratively, the movie's just kind of a mess. It's such a thin plot. For one thing, it's again, a father trying to protect his family, which was done in Avatar: The Way of Water, but that was done much more beautifully, because you got time to know the characters, you got time to emotionally engage with the characters, and you got time to buy in the journey. This movie uses its runtime so poorly, it just throws action on the screen, and you're supposed to care about the characters. It's forcing you to care about the characters. I don't care about any of them. I can't distinguish any of them. I'll give the movie this. Jason Momoa is pretty good as the villain. He's a bit flamboyant. He's a bit quirky, like goes, ooh, oh, Dom Toretto. He's a little bit show busy, but I do quite like his character. He definitely adds some charisma to the movie. He's probably the only actor, one of the few actors who's really trying with his part to make it something worthwhile. But I just didn't care for the character's motivations. He wanted revenge on Dom Toretto for, getting his dad killed or something. It was some basic crap motive like that, which was not engaging at all. And Brie Larson was good in the film as well. I liked her character for the brief moments she was in. There's a pretty good bar sequence where she has a standoff with everybody, where she takes her shots. Lol. The film is directed by Letterier, and again, clearly he's just like, well, let's just make another Fast and Furious. Rather than make it good, let's just make another one. I'm not going to go too much into the cast, because they're fine. They do well with what they have. Michelle Rodriguez plays the same character she plays in everything, so nothing new there. And that's the thing, it's just a very empty, very hollow movie. And the fact is, it doesn't go anywhere. It just ends. This movie ends on a cliffhanger. You don't know whether the characters have actually made it out alive by the end of the film. I don't know if it's a spoiler to say that, but you are left with the cliffhanger of, wait till Fast 11 to find out if they actually make it out alive, to be continued. It's like, what? I never saw that coming. I was a bit surprised. I was like, okay, we're getting to this very, very crucial moment in the climax where it looks like things are going from bad to worse, and then, bam, the movie just ends. Okay, a bit abrupt, but alright. So really, I just didn't know how to process the whole thing, really. I think this is a long, tedious, tiring, overblown action movie with very little plot. I mean, if you're like dumb, fun action movies with little plot, you'll probably have a good time with it. Let's be fair, it's not exactly rocket science to understand this movie. It can be entertaining in the right light and in the right frame of mind. I kind of feel like this movie is what Transformers is to me. A bit of a guilty pleasure for some people, with loads of mindless action just for the sake of it, a very generic plot with little to no detail or depth. And it's a load of nonsense on screen that you can just turn your brain off, watch, and you don't need to think about it. Just let it be on in the background of something. And I feel like that's what this movie is. It's a background movie. It's a movie that you stick on in the background when you're doing something. You don't pay attention to it. But when you go back to it, you're like, okay, that's pretty entertaining, that's pretty cool. I mean, some of the locales are quite good. They go globetrotting around the world, and there's a pretty cool race sequence, which is what I believe the series was originally, before it became an action series and then a heist series. Fast and Furious kind of evolved into various different things. I mean, I haven't seen all the movies, so I don't know the details, but a very bland movie. Nothing is there, and if the emotion wasn't so hammer-homed, maybe I would have said that would have been one of the positive things, that if the movie had heart and knew when to use it at the right moments, then I would have felt something. There's no stakes, because they keep going on about family, and it just drives me fucking mad. I get more annoyed by the fact that they keep mentioning it, rather than, oh, right, there's higher stakes because he's trying to protect his family, and then the world is at stake as well. No, totally misplaced, and it's to the movie's downfall, really. So what did I like about the movie? Well, like I said, there's a couple of action scenes that I like, and some of the actors are good, but ultimately, this is a boring film. It's totally forgettable. Very bland and messy plot. You know, some moments of levity, but ultimately, yeah, it's not the epic that it wants you to believe it is. So, to give it a final rating, I guess this has become a bit of a rant, really. I will give Fast 10, I'll give it a 2 out of 10.
If they ride with me, ain't my brother. Say they riding with me, but I know that they ain't loyal. Say they ain't your team, but they ain't really rooting for you. Keep it on me when I'm riding. It's the game, if he's sliding, then I'm sliding. Come on, let's take a ride. Let's ride.
This is a bad movie. This is a really bad movie. Will I review the other films in the series? Maybe, at a later date, but right now, I have no interest in Fast and Furious. But if you like the movie, that's fine. I'd love to hear your opinions. This is just my opinion. So please comment down below, let me know what you think. And stay tuned for future reviews. I'm going to be reviewing the Little Mermaid remake very soon, and potentially finishing my Disney live-action remakes reviews. So stay tuned for that. So thank you very much all for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe button for more content to come. And please comment down below, let me know what you think. I'd love to get a good discussion going, provided everybody is civil and polite. And stay tuned for future reviews. So thank you very much for watching. I'm Pajak's Perspective. See ya. Bye for now.